Welcome to Conscious Chronicles, a place where we dive into the depths of the human experience, exploring the profound, the spiritual, and the transformative. Today's story will take us beyond the veil into a near-death experience that reveals hidden truths about life, death, and the purpose of our existence on Earth. But before we dive into the story, I have to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who has clicked the subscribe button. I'm in disbelief that over 200 of you have joined me on this journey, and I am deeply grateful for your support. If you enjoy my videos, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I promise to deliver beautiful, heartfelt narrations forever. Your support by clicking subscribe helps me continue sharing these stories, pushing my channel through the YouTube algorithm. So thank you for helping a soul out. Now let's dive into today's video. Hi, my name is Michael, and I was always the kind of guy who liked to play it safe. No risks, no unnecessary adventures. Life was comfortable, predictable, and I liked it that way. My routine was simple: work, family, home, and the occasional weekend away. That Friday started just like any other. I'd finished up at work, eager to pick up my son from school. We had plans for the weekend. Nothing big, just a camping trip we'd been looking forward to for months. It was one of those moments where everything seemed to be going right. I was driving down a familiar road, one I'd taken 100 times before. The sun was shining. The radio was playing some old rock tunes. And for the first time in what felt like weeks, I was relaxed. But in the blink of an eye, everything changed. Out of nowhere, a car came speeding toward me. The driver had run a red light. I barely had time to react. All I remember was the flash of headlights, the deafening sound of metal crunching, and then nothing. It's strange how moments like that, when life hangs by a thread, experiencing both fast and slow at the same time. 1 second, you're there. The next, you're not. And I wasn't. When I woke up, or whatever you call it, I wasn't in my body anymore. I hovered above the scene, looking down at the wreckage below. I saw my car, crushed, and inside, there was me. My lifeless body slumped against the steering wheel, blood trickling from my forehead. It was surreal, watching it all unfold from above, yet feeling no pain, no fear. I saw the other driver too. Her car was smashed beyond recognition, and people were gathering around. Some were on their phones, calling for help. Others were running to my car, trying to get the door open. But none of it mattered. I wasn't connected to it anymore. I felt free. Then I felt it, a tug. Gentle at first, but growing stronger. It was like I was being pulled upwards, away from the scene. The world below me began to blur, and soon it disappeared completely. I found myself in a place that defies explanation. It wasn't just darkness, and it wasn't just light. It was something in between. Vast, boundless, peaceful. There was no sense of time, no sense of self, just pure existence. Then Out of that vastness, I felt something else. A presence, or rather, presences. They weren't human, but they weren't entirely alien either. I couldn't see them, not in the way we see things with our eyes, but I could feel them around me, within me. They communicated with me, not with words, but through thoughts, feelings, and impressions. They let me know that I had crossed over, but it wasn't my time. There was more I needed to see, more I needed to understand. And that's when they began to show me my life. It's hard to describe what it's like to relive your life, not just as a series of events, but as an intricate web of connections, emotions, and consequences. They took me through moments I had long forgotten, from childhood, my teenage years, to adulthood. But it wasn't like watching a movie of my life. I felt everything again, every emotion, every thought I had during those moments. And more than that, I felt what others had felt because of me. I saw the time I had snapped at my son for something trivial, the look of hurt on his face. But now I could feel the depth of that hurt in a way I hadn't before. I saw the arguments I'd had with my wife and how my words, sharp and careless, had cut deeper than I ever realized. But it wasn't all pain. There were beautiful moments too, like the time I comforted a friend in need, and how that small act of kindness had rippled out to affect others in ways I never knew. I saw how my decisions, big and small, had created waves that spread far beyond what I could comprehend. And I realized that every moment, every choice, matters more than we can ever understand. And yet, despite all of this, there was no judgment. No one was condemning me for my mistakes or praising me for my good deeds. There was only love, an infinite, all-encompassing love that accepted everything, the good, the bad, and the in-between. It was then that I began to understand. Life on earth is not about perfection. It's about growth, learning, and most of all, love. The beings, or guides as I began to think of them, then showed me something that changed the way I looked at suffering. I was taken to moments in my life where I had felt pain, deep, soul-crushing pain, moments of loss, failure, heartbreak. I saw myself in those moments, and I felt the anguish all over again. But this time, I saw something else. I saw the growth that had come from those moments, how each hardship had shaped me, made me stronger, more compassionate, more understanding. They showed me that suffering is not a punishment, but a tool for growth, for transformation. Without it, we remain stagnant, unable to fully grasp the depth of love and joy that life has to offer. And that was a revelation. Suffering, pain. These things are not obstacles to happiness, but part of the journey towards it. They are the lessons we come here to learn. As all of this was absorbed, I felt a shift, as though the experience was coming to an end. The guides let me know that it was time to return. I still had more to do, more to learn, and more to share. The moment I accepted that, I was pulled back. The peacefulness faded, and suddenly I was aware of my body again. The pain hit me like a wave, crushing, overwhelming. I could hear the distant sounds of sirens, voices calling my name, and I realized I was back in the wreckage of the car. I had survived, but I was changed forever. That experience, it opened my eyes in ways I never thought possible. I no longer feared death because I knew that death is not the end. It's just another step, another part of the journey. And I also knew that every moment we have on this earth is precious. Every connection we make, every act of kindness, every bit of love we share matters. And that is the greatest lesson of all. As I narrate today's story, it gives me a reminder of how interconnected we all are, and how even the hardest moments in life can lead to the greatest revelations. Thank you, Michael, for sharing your story. If this story resonated with you, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. To be reminded of similar content, please like and subscribe to Conscious Chronicles, where I explore the mysteries of life, death, and everything in between. Until next time, stay conscious and keep exploring.